So I'm filming here because my back's a little sore and I'm tired and sort of on a low vibration. So bear with me. Thank you. Language. Speech. Perhaps the greatest evolutionary mystery of mankind. Heck, it stumped Charles Darwin. It stumped Noam Chomsky. But boy, what a power it is to have. And it's our animal power. We speak over 6,000 languages in the world. Someone got hurt. So we speak over 6,000 languages in the world. Speech allows us to live stories, to express emotions, or at least try. And as the world continues to industrialize, our community has expanded to the global scale. Now, historically, as tribesmen, this presents an evolutionary problem. That's why it's so easy to feel lonely these days, because it's so easy to get lost. The community is too big. And, I mean, it's hard to talk to your neighbor if you don't speak the same language. But what can anybody from anywhere both understand? Music. We may not understand language, but we understand noise. And I mean, stories are really just an instrument for underscoring that no matter the circumstance, we end up with the same guttural animal reactions. And at the core, those who are awake and hear the beat of the drum are drawn into the vibrations of music and are able to emote their satisfaction or dissatisfaction with the state of affairs, with life. Okay, so that's why music. And so rock and roll. Alright, well, last weekend I went with my family to the Montreal Jazz Festival, and I wore my sign. There were a couple bites, and I got two people who explicitly asked me, wow, that's not a flattering angle. I had two people who specifically asked me, why am I wearing a Why Rock and Roll sign to a jazz festival? And I started with, well, it's really an experiment or appreciation of the power of music. And I choose rock and roll as a specific topic, if you will, because it really does represent a magical moment in the history of music. And it's interesting because technology or technological advance really helped in the starting of rock and roll, because what happened is so the end of the 19th century, there was a lot of radio development by the military. And in the early 1920s, radio was first used commercially. Um, an American station that escapes me now did a broadcast of news and information and some music. And so it started a way to spread noises across regional boundaries. So all of a sudden, you could be in an urban setting hearing what the country folk are about, or vice versa. So you start to hear different ways of expressing your truth and your story. And so that's, from that, it enabled crossovers and covers, and that's when the genres blended, and then you get rock and roll, which I think is a great expression of raw truth in music, and it's so relevant, and it's fascinating always how technology plays a role in things. And yes, it's so easy to talk about how terrible it is, but we have the power of language. Technological advancement is inevitable. We use hashtags to speak to one another. It's symbols. It allows us to speak across the globe with one another in an instant. That's magic. And all he's got to do is focus that magic on the good. I still am uncomfortable having a YouTube channel or whatever, using technology to advance my creative ideas, but it's good to be uncomfortable and push yourself to just feel things out and to experiment, and it's silly to be holding yourself back because of whatever. Anyway, there's a lot of power to be had and shared by just following positive energy and how you feel, and continue to connect through good noises. All right?